All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum located in Whitefish Point, which is just west of Sault Ste. Marie along the shores of Lake Superior. It's up this path right here. And once I get there, I will show you some more. Stay tuned. All right, so there is a village here where the Shipwreck Museum is, and there's different things inside each building to check out, including a lighthouse here at Whitefish Point. They have, of course, the Shipwreck Museum itself, and then they have a store and gift shop type place. That is where you buy your museum tickets. Then they also have a U.S. Coast Guard house type of place over there. So I'm going to go check out all of this stuff. Stay tuned for more. All right, so what we're looking at here is an old rudder from a shipwreck from the Drake, which was operational from the years 1882 to 1901. And it's on display here. It is 201 feet. Let's see, actually, the 201-foot Drake was towing the 212-foot schooner. My apologies. And the Drake lost her smokestack, suffered extensive stern damage, began taking on water, and unfortunately, it dove 50 feet to the bottom. This wreckage piece here was located in the year 1978 and is now here to check out. And there's more relics like that around the area, so let's go see what they have. All right, so this is the U.S. Coast Guard Whitefish Point Station that is got private quarters in it. Next to it is the part of the museum where you can start things off by watching a 20-minute video of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which I got done doing here a moment ago. Over this direction, have more museum buildings to tour. The cost of admission is $15 US, and you can get into all these buildings with a paid admission. There's also restrooms here, free parking, and a museum store with fudge and souvenirs, apparel, and more. Make sure you bring a snack of some sort, or maybe bring lunch or picnic of some sort, because there are no restaurants up this way. Like I said, they do sell fudge and, a few little things like that, but nothing nutritious up here. It is quite away from civilization. So make sure to bring some munchies and some beverages and things like that. It'll also save you a few bucks too. From having to stop and pay prices somewhere else. But let's go into these buildings and see what they have, and I'll show you some more here in a moment. All right, so on a map here showing exactly where we're at, Whitefish Point, located right there. Of course, this is looking at the northern terminus of I-75. Here at Sault Ste. Marie as it crosses into Canada, into Ontario. We're near the town of Paradise, but more closer to Whitefish Point. And that is where the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum here is located. Lots of really cool artifacts and things on display to check out from the history of ships along the Great Lakes, especially hauling iron ore and materials from points north going south, especially during the industrial revolution and automotive industry. So this is what a children's bedroom would look like in the keeper's quarters of the house here. Isolated childhood. Children of a light keeper has lived in a very different world from that who lived in the bigger cities and towns in the 1890s. So very isolated life, very simple. Little things were important. And obviously no electronic media, not even a radio. So pretty primitive days. So things were very simple. Dolls and things like that. Another bedroom here upstairs. And here's a picture of some of the early light keepers. Circa 1900. That's what the attire were for the guys. And yeah, very, very neat. So this would be the master suite, and that's what you would get if you were a keeper here at the Lighthouse back in the day. Wilson. Sewing machine there, Singer brand. All right, so this is the Whitefish Point light station and the grounds for that. We just toured the inside of the light keepers station building in the keeper's house. So that's the building I was just in, filming all those different rooms and how everything looked back in the day. So that was pretty fantastic to see. I'm not sure what this brickish building is here, but there is a plaque over here that talks more about the Lightfish Point Lighthouse. Hopefully some more history on it. And it says this light is the oldest active lighthouse on Lake Superior. So that is something I didn't know. And it began operating in 1849. And though the present tower was constructed later, early a stopping place for Indians, voyagers, and Jesuit missionaries. The point marks a course change for ore boats and other ships navigating this treacherous coastline to and from St. Mary's Canal. Since 1971, the light, fog, signal, and radio beacon have been automated and controlled from Sault Ste. Marie. Super cool. 1849, huh? Oldest one on Lake Superior. Good to know. All right, so here's a commemorative plaque and mural of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Which, like I said, there is a 20-minute video inside one of the buildings that is very informative and educational. Also has a really old Coast Guard boat in there as well to check out. And this is the graveyard of the Great Lakes, Whitefish Point. So that's its nickname. And since navigation began on Lake Superior, there's been approximately 550 boat wrecks. More vessels were lost in Whitefish Point area than any other part of Lake Superior. And those three reasons are high loss of ships in Whitefish Point area. First, the eastern end of the lake is very congested, where the lake narrows down like a funnel and up and down. And so it causes bound ship traffic to pass, poor visibility, forest fires, snow, and the lake itself, which is great expanse of over 200 miles. So gets triggered pretty easily and causes a lot of currents and things, a lot of waves out there. Let's go and check out Lake Superior, by the way, and see how treacherous it is up here at Whitefish Point. Well, I apologize for the wind noise, guys. I'm going to try and muffle it out as much as possible. But here is Lake Superior from Whitefish Point. As you can see, the waves on a mildly windy day even can be a little bit rough out there. It's white capping out there in the middle too. So as those boats and ships try to make their way, could be variable conditions just like this. And another perspective of the Whitefish Point Lighthouse, standing from uh, near the lakeshore side. They got some dunes looking kind of hills here that lead up to the beach. Today is a high of 55 and pretty windy, so not really a strong kind of beach day, but there are people out here kind of checking out some things along the water, so it's not too cold. The lake itself is actually relatively quote unquote warm this time of year because it's about the warmest it's going to be, and then it's going to start dropping off pretty steeply toward winter, and it'll be icy along these shorelines here in a couple months. All right, next building I'm going in is the U.S. Coast Guard Surf Boat House for Whitefish Point Station. Let's go in here and see what they have to offer. All right, so this is the next building we're going in. Appears to be one of the main buildings for the museum. So we're going to go in here and check this one out. See what's in there. All right, so this is the inside of the main museum building. So when you first walk in, there's exhibits everywhere. You want to start to the left, as the guide said, and everything goes in chronological order all the way around back to the exit. So let's see what they have to see. All right, so the last building is the museum and store. This is also where I mentioned earlier you can buy fudge and souvenirs. Also, the tickets $15 for adults, $11 for youth. So be sure to come in here first. This is what the building looks like. Get your tickets, you'll get a wristband that looks like this, and then you can go explore this whole village, the Lighthouse, Keeper's Inn, and the huge museum that I was just in, and all of that. So come on in and check it out. right, guys. So, what did you think of the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum here at Whitefish Point and the lighthouse and all of that? Let me know what your thoughts were down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share, subscribe to the channel so I can bring more content to you and enjoy places just like this and give you all the insider information like I do in most of my videos. So, hope you enjoyed this one. And until next time, we'll see you down the road.